If you have a partner with a stable job, how do you handle money conversations and planning together? Just so you guys know, my partner doesn't have a stable job. He's also an entrepreneur, so it's been easy for me, no issues there.
To be fair, my ex-partner and I never really had these kind of conversations. We just don't talk much about important things, which actually made it more difficult for me.
Which led to the downfall of the relationship, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, being able to communicate is like the foundation of a relationship, but we're not able to communicate very well, and that includes for money-related things as well. Which is why I always had that fear that she was unsupportive, but she didn't want to vocalize it, right?
Right.
Because there's no communication. So I can't even ask like, how well do you really support me and stuff like that. There is no in-depth conversation about money.
Because the thing is that communication is two-way, right? And like if you guys were together for so long, you were able to manage without it until a certain point. So how would you set yourself up for success in the future when it comes to navigating things like that? Like, would you talk about it on the first date?
To be honest, I think just being able to communicate, doing business, especially and putting myself online as well, it may not be the most comfortable thing for a lot of people, especially for your partner. So I think I got to communicate that very well
Oh,
as
one thing
well.
also, to be fair, when Aaron started dating his ex-partner, he was in university and this hadn't even started yet. So you didn't feel the need to communicate about this and talk about these things because
Yeah.
they were less uncertain.
But I think being able to communicate about important things, especially things related to money and set expectations is going to be very important.
So how would you like to handle these conversations and plan?
I think for these kind of
So
conversations,
if you guys are interested in dating Aaron, please listen up.
I think number one for myself is being open and honest, being able to share the worst case scenario and have my partner be comfortable with that would probably alleviate a lot of stress from me. Because even though we never had that money conversation, it didn't, in a sense, break the relationship, but it made me feel very uncomfortable because I don't really know what my partner is thinking. And that just stresses me out a lot because I don't know if I take a certain business risk, will she be comfortable with it? Because I feel like when you're in a relationship, if I'm
Correct.
taking risk that makes her feel very uncomfortable, it's not fair for her and it will also
Yes.
affect the relationship.
And it depends on the stage of relationship, right? If you're on a first date, you don't give a crap whether they care, like whether they're affected by it.
But I feel like sharing these things very early on in the relationship is very important. Finding someone who can actually communicate those thoughts to me is very important as well because maybe at the start it's fine, but let's say we start dating 1 or 2 years later, actually that feels very uncomfortable for her. She needs to be able to vocalize that to me so that we can find a decent workaround and compromise. I think what drove me nuts was the fact that I don't even know, was she comfortable or was she not comfortable? Right? I think being able to communicate where you are is very important, and that's something that I hope that I can look for in someone.